Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn logged in user access control, and following are the topics that we are going to discuss. Firstly, we will get an introduction about user access controls, then we will learn user object fields and method, and last we will discuss user manager methods. So let's begin. So after setting up authentication port, we are prepared to handle the view function for the user. And you know that in the previous video, we have already discussed about setting up of authentication port. So in this video, we will learn to handle the view function for the user. And for this, request.user will be the primary interface we use to access users with a view. It is an object that represents the user who is currently logged in. So therefore, once we have a user object which is frequently get from the request.user, we also have lots of fields and methods on that. For that reason, firstly we will discuss about some most used user object fields. And the first field is username. It is a required field and it may contain alphanumeric and characters, and the length is 150 character or fewer. The second field is first name. It is an optional field with a maximum length of a 30 character. The third one is last name field, and it is also an optional field having a 30 character or a fewer. The fourth one is email field. It is also an optional field used for the email address. And the next one is password. It is also the required field, as you know that Django does not store the raw password. It is a hash of and metadata about the password. The next field is underscore star. It designates whether the user can access the admin side or not, and it takes boolean value. The next one is underscore active. It designates whether the user account should be considered active or not. This next one is underscore super user. It designates that the user has all the permissions without explicitly assigning them. The another one is last underscore login, and it is time and date when the user last login. The next one is date underscore joined, and it is a time and a date indicating the account's creation. The next one is groups, and it is the many to many field of the user object. And the last one is permission, and it is also the many to many field of the user object. So from this we conclude that we have two required user object fields. The first one is username and the second one is password, and we also have two many to many fields for the user object. The first one is groups and the second one is permission. So now we will move and learn some user object methods. So the first one is underscore authenticated method. If the user has been authenticated, you can know by using this method. This does not imply any permission and doesn't verify the user session or whether they are currently active. This method is only a read-only method and always returns true. The next one is underscore anonymous. This is the way of differentiating user and anonymous user object, and it is also a read-only method which always return false. The third one is get underscore username. It is used to return the username from the user. The fourth one is get underscore full underscore name method, and it returns the first name and the last name of the user, and it also has a space between the first name and the last name. The next one is get underscore short underscore name method. It is used to return the first name of the user. The next one is set underscore password, And in this method we pass the raw underscore password. It is used to set the user password to the given raw string. So now we move to the next method, that is check underscore password. And in this method we also pass the raw password, and if the given raw string is the correct password for the user, it always returns true, otherwise it returns the false. The next method is get underscore user underscore permissions, and in parentheses we pass an object. By default it is none. It returns the set of permission string set for the specific user object. And keep one thing in mind, you have to pass an object to this method. And the next one is get underscore group underscore permission, and in parentheses we also pass object. It returns the set of permission strings that the user has through the group he or she belongs. The next one is get underscore all underscore permission, and in this we also pass the object in parentheses as an argument. It returns a set of both group and a user permission strings that a user has. The next one is has underscore prim, and in this we pass the prim also. It returns true if the user has a specific permission, where prim is the format of a package.code name, and if the user is inactive, this method will always return false. The last one is has underscore prims, and in this we pass prim underscore list. It returns true if the user has all the specified permissions, and if the user is inactive, this method also returns false. So keep noted one thing, we have a difference between has underscore prim and has underscore prims method. So there is a difference of a s. Please note it down. If you want to know about the user specified permission, use the prim method without s, or if you want to know about the all the specified permissions, or you can say about the list of permissions, then you have to use the prims method with the s. So now we will move to the user manager methods. So firstly I will tell you, in Django the user model has a custom manager that has some helper methods. So we will discuss one by one. The first one is create underscore user method. This method is used to create, save and return a user, and the syntax for this method is create underscore user, and in parentheses we pass different arguments. The first one is username, the second one is email, third one is password, and the fourth one is extra underscore field. So this username and password are a preset in this instance, and the domain section of an email is automatically changed to the lowercase by using the email attribute. And additionally, a custom user model's extra field keyword argument is given through the user's double underscore init double underscore method to allow for the setup of attribute fields. So now we will discuss the second user manager method, that is create underscore super user method. This method is also used to create, save and return a super user, and the syntax for this is create underscore super user, and in arguments we pass username, email, password and extra underscore fields. And this method also works same as the create underscore user method, but there is a difference between both the method. The difference is that it set is underscore staff and is underscore super user fields to true always. So always remember one thing, if you are using create underscore super user, it always set is underscore staff and is underscore superfield to the true always. So with this, we have learned logged in user access control, and in the next video, we are going to learn managing users, permissions, groups, messages and profile.